All right, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is the professor. Now, today we'll talk about Mary Habila and Umahi. Now, most of you probably do not know what is going on. Maybe you have been seeing the video, you have been seeing some, you just be scrolling, you see Umahi, you see Mary Habila, what happened, what's going on. You just heard that Mary Habila was found dead in Umahi's house and all that. On June 9th, that was how Mary Habila came back. This one now I'm telling you is the one that her colleague swore in an affidavit. Came back and said she's not feeling too fine. This was according to her colleague that they are expected to have been living in the same area in Umahi's house. You know, they are colleagues. So they do same kind of work that they do for Umahi, that is being nurses and physiotherapists and whatever it is. Said she was not feeling too fine, she went in. And that was it. This is the story of her colleague. Now, when investigation was now going on and they asked Umahi, Alpha, come and explain. How is it possible that this particular lady that is being attached to you was found tied in her room, in your house? First of all, Umahi said that where they used to stay is far apart his own place of residence, even though it's still within the same compound. That they stay in the guest house and he stays in his own residence, which is far from the guest house.
There is a guest house where her and the second medical person stay. And that is very far from where I stay. And so it means that, God forbid, somebody dies in Ministry of Works, the minister must be accountable to that. Is that what they're saying?
Now, after he said this thing, you would have said, okay, no problem. That means he doesn't know anything about the death. He wasn't even with her when, in the last hours of her death. That is what you would have concluded, yeah? But this person that was not with her during the last hours of her lifetime was now telling us the conversations that she had with her boyfriend.
She spoke to her boyfriend at the hour of her death, complaining that she was bleeding from the nose. And the boyfriend said, no, you have to report. You say it has stopped. So the boyfriend said, listen, I will not continue this conversation since you are bleeding. It will increase the bleeding. And she told the boyfriend, don't cut the call. The boyfriend cut the call. And 3 minutes later, the boyfriend called again. She was not responding. And even in the morning, she told the boyfriend she was going to bath because she locked her door, So even in the morning, when they broke the door and discovered her dead, the tap was still running.
Make it make sense. Call the boyfriend say, how did you know what the boyfriend was saying at the other end? Did she put it on loudspeaker and you were there looking at the two of them talking? Then after 3 minutes, the boyfriend called back. So you were there after the boyfriend had finished calling. After 3 minutes, you were still there when the boyfriend called back. And how she was saying, don't cut the call. The boyfriend said, I'll cut the call. Don't cut the call. I'll cut the call. There is more to this. There is more to this that we have not known. There is more to this. I am still asking this question. Is it that Mary Habila have seen something that she was not supposed to see? Or is it that she has heard something that she was not supposed to hear? There is more to this. I am not accusing anybody, but the investigation should be carried out. Now, imagine the father of Mary Habila coming out to say that he doesn't want any autopsy to be carried out on his child.
I don't want the autopsy. That's why I'm demanding the corpse of my daughter to go and bury her now.
How can you, as a father, are you not supposed to be interested in how did my daughter that was working in this person's house, how did he die? How did she die? How did she become unalived? Is it not supposed to be the concern of a person as a father of somebody that died without natural circumstance? Or let us even assume it is natural circumstance. Allow the autopsy report to show that it is natural circumstance. Many of you that don't know what autopsy report is, when they carry out autopsy on bodies that have died, they would see the cause of death. If it is not by natural means, they will not see who killed, but they will see how this person died. Was it by poison? Was it by strangulation? Was it by starvation? Whatever it is, was it by an underlying sickness that this person had been suffering from? All these things, in order to pinpoint the particular one that died her, to even be sure that there is no need for more investigation, autopsy needs to be carried out. Now he's saying, I want autopsy to be carried out. But the father is saying, autopsy should not be carried out.
The question is that if she were a Muslim, will you be insisting that autopsy will happen? But we insisted through our lawyer that autopsy should happen. And we are begging the parents to allow autopsy to happen. And I say no, it's against their culture.
Investigative people, investigation officers are supposed to do their work no matter whose ox is God. What do you mean that because the father is not allowing for autopsy? The next news now, you say the father insisted that we should not do autopsy, so he's asking for. Even the father has sworn to an affidavit saying that he doesn't want an autopsy. We are now looking at this father. Even when they were interviewing him, one of the interviewers, very smart person, asked, "What is your relationship with this Mary?"
So, but how was your relationship with your daughter before she died?
We were having a very cordial relationship.
Because a responsible father that has good relationship with her child would actually want to know what happened to her child. Not just telling me, give me the body, let me go and bury. Anyway, Umahi has denounced and rejected claims that he has a hand in the death of Mary Habila. But we are still asking some questions. How did, the one that is even baffling, how did Umahi know about the call between this lady and her boyfriend if he was not there? I am not saying he was there, allegedly. I'm not saying he was there, but this particular thing about a very important personnel, as it were, committing an offense or alleged to have been in part of a particular offense. If investigation is going on, is he not supposed to resign? Are you not supposed to suspend him? Or is it only for civil servants and poor people per se, that when something is being reported against them, the first thing that they will do is to suspend the person? Can it not happen at the top? Femi Bajabiamila himself was mentioned by Adeyemi as being part of the people that made it possible for a fake agency to be included in the Nigerian budget. And because he demanded for a particular percentage of the start-off allocation and he was not given, then he now busted everywhere. And this person is accusing him everywhere, stating it as it is. But Femi Bajabiamila is still there as a chief of staff to the president, even when his name is being mentioned in things like this. Is he not supposed to resign or they suspend him pending when they are finished investigation? Now, when they are done with investigation, if he's now free, you cannot say, okay, sorry, go back to your position. But this is Nigeria. The Umahi is now being accused. He's being accused, whether you like it or not, whether they say they are using it to play politics or they're not using it to play politics. Somebody died in your house. The doctrine of last sin said, if you are with this person and the person died, and you cannot account for the death of this person, it's therefore means circumstantial evidence that you were the one that killed the person. But he's still a minister in the Federal Republic. Instead of him to be suspended so that when the investigation is carried out and his hands are clean, he can now go back. But now he stayed there. Anyway, we will bring you the reports as the investigation goes on. So until then, subscribe to this YouTube channel. Subscribe. Thank you.